we got everything back. Everything's home. Finally, the dust is settling. We're getting some stuff done. Now it's time to start, tearing into some of this stuff and just doing a quick glance. This was the one that was un-ID'd. We are pretty sure that it is a model BD Cletrac, but a Tombstone version. Notice unstyled, non-streamlined. It's in beautiful shape. The undercarriage is mint, but it is a unique one as we can't figure out any sort of identification on it at all. But it has PTO, it's diesel. But man, it needs some love. It looks really good on the outside. The oil looks beautiful, but the fuel tank, that is a little worse for wear. So, anyhow, just stopping over to rainproof stuff at the museum on my way home, and I just figured I'd give these a quick glance and check them out. That's the unidentified, and then this one is an AG-6. It's a 6-cylinder Continental L6 226. It's 226 cubic inch. It's a truck motor that they modified. Cletrac made their own manifolds for them and everything. That's incorrect carburetor, but I believe we actually have the right one for this at home. I got a check on a parts tractor. Undercarriage on this one's beautiful. I bet this will run pretty easy, but gonna have to find a fuel cap for it and some other miscellaneous things, but should be able to do that. And then there's the BDH. This thing's absolutely straight out of the field. Still has the mud on it from whatever it was doing. So judging by the amount of mud on this undercarriage, I assume this thing has actually been running recently and all the dirt has been undisturbed. So I'm just doing my usual due diligence of checking everything out. Engine oil actually looks really good. Everything on here seems to be freed up. We hit everything with some Croil, get all the levers freed up and everything. Now the throttle works, so that's a bonus. Now, this thing is absolutely cherry. Drawbars are worse for wear. It's had some hard use, but it's got a 4-port BG, which is a 2-function BG pump. It's a nice little tractor. Well, here we go. We're going to actually try to start it. I'm going to go grab a battery out of one of my others real quick. But real fast, I'll give you a quick run through on what I do. This is the injection pump right here. Inside of here is a plunger for each cylinder, and this is a 6-cylinder engine, so you got 6 plungers that go to 6 different injectors along here. This is a Lenovo head style injection system where it comes in the side, and there's a hot cell on the other and the pre-combustion chamber. This is an early Hercules diesel. Somewhat, actually this is not an early one. This is a later one. My mistake on that. But yeah, it's, they're all pretty basic based on the American Bosch pump. And, Hercules used their own governor. That was the difference between them and everyone else. Everyone else, they used the governor that came on the injection pump, but Hercules had to be different. So anyhow, first things first, this is how runaways happen. So if this rack sticks that controls all of these individual plungers, that's what controls the amount of fuel, then this thing goes wide open throttle and there's no stopping it because all a diesel needs is fuel and air. So first things first, I always pop the side cover and make sure the rack's freed up on any of these early diesels. Even if they've been, I've had them for a long time and they've only been sitting for a year or two, this new diesel's so terrible that it actually will varnish up and cause it to stick. And it'll cause one of two situations. It'll cause a crank no start, or it causes a runaway. So either one, not a good situation. Neither I like to repeat. And judging by the... aha! Gotcha. Got lucky on that one. Judging by the hardware coming out of this, that's all very clean. So we might get lucky here on this one, folks. This one might actually be a runner. Gasket's gonna probably need to be replaced at some point. But now You can see, great place for a primary plunger to try to get this all out. Anyway. Okay, to give you an idea of what it looks like inside of there, you can see right there is the little things that spin back and forth, and that's what controls your fuel, and they all work at the same time. Let's see if I can get it to work here. It's pretty tight, so I didn't think it was gonna be loose, but it's basically that right there. They spin back and forth and they rotate, and that's what meters the fuel going to the rail. But yeah, it appears this pump's pretty gummed up, pretty standard for these. I just sprayed some Croil in there, so we'll see if that helps. But yeah, it's definitely not just a quick whiz bang. It's gonna fire up, unfortunately. But we are gonna get a battery and see if we can get it to crank over. All right, folks, upon further investigation, that I should have noticed that there's only a positive battery cable, and then the one that's here is pretty bad. I'm just gonna say it bluntly. It's jacked. It's not gonna work. So that being said, I'm gonna come over here with some cables and another set of batteries and get this thing all dialed in, get some new cables put on it, try to get it cranked over, try to get that pump loosened up, and then it should run. I have a feeling this one's gonna fire up rather easy. Now, I have the feeling the same on these too once I get all the systems cleaned out. So once everything's all cleaned up, cleaned out, and ready to rock, I bet it'll be real easy. So I'm going to try to get that one back to the house soon and try to get worked on that and try to make sure it's ready to go. So when we do the crawler takeover in the desert here coming up, it'll be ready to roll. Definitely got our hands full. We got our work cut out for us. You can see got another FWD over there. EFT Cletrac. I got to get it freed up. That's my next major task. But and then get this guy brought home so we can start getting it put back in the into storage mode, because it's gonna be a while before we touch this one. Still a neat truck though. It's gonna make some nice yard art. All right, folks, that's gonna be it for this round. I'm gonna start making some videos as we start tearing into some of this stuff, and we're gonna start doing some well starts and diving into what's wrong, triaging the machines, so on and so forth. Huge thank you to everybody that helped us with this mission. The guys over at Peralt Corp, I can't thank you enough. The timely service, they handled it in and out of there, super professional. Those boys are the go-to in Southern California for heavy haul and all your other trucking needs, really. Great folks over there, man. Nothing but great things to say. I'm super stoked with how everything went. Thank you to Almond Auctions and everyone associated with them. You guys are awesome. That was a pleasure dealing with you. And then a huge shout out to Young Tractor Guy, Colton Young. He's I'll put a link in the description. Check his channel out. We were able to collaborate a little bit through this auction process, and he was one of the ones that helped me save some of the stuff from scrap and kind of rally some of the other collectors. So huge shout out to Colton. Man, this hobby wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for the younger generation stepping up, and I'm glad I'm not the only one. It's really great meeting some of these younger folks that are interested in it. And you know what? We're going to start hitting some of these shows and some of these out-of-town events, and maybe we try to generate some more interest and try to get some of this stuff out to the public. So anyway, until then, folks, thank you for following along, and it's been fun. Stay tuned for more. Like and subscribe, share the hell out of all of it. We need all the help we can get, folks. Y'all have a good one. Take care now.